Anthropic's MCP protocol has undergone some significant changes, and arguably the most impactful is the shift from SSE as its transport method to Streamable HTTP. In this video, you'll learn why this transition is a major improvement for the protocol and significantly enhances its capabilities. We'll cover how to set up both stateful and stateless MCP servers, and I'll even show you how to use a proxy server to implement this new transport method without needing to alter your existing SSE-based MCP server. So why did Anthropic revise the protocol at all? Well, servers and events, or SSE, inherently require state. They depend on a persistent, long-lived connection between a client and a server. This introduces considerable overhead when accessing tools via HTTP, especially since many common use cases involve centralized tools where a stateful connection isn't necessary. However, stateful connections are still incredibly useful for more complex tools, particularly those that involve processes like sampling. Sampling means that a server requests LLM calls directly from the client. And this is why I'm gonna demonstrate you how to implement both scenarios, stateful and stateless. Let's dive straight into the examples. Okay, we're now in VS Code, and if you also want to play around with the code, you can get it from the link in the description. On the left, you will find a folder called Streamable HTTP, which has got a server.py, 2 shell scripts, and also a client.py. So let's first have a look at the server. So that is a very basic MCP server with a single tool which adds 2 numbers. If you're somewhat familiar with MCP, you can see that inside that fast MCP class, we've got a new argument, which is the stateless HTTP argument, and we can set it to true or to false. So we start with false. So when we do it like this, we've got a stateful connection with the transport method Streamable HTTP. So let's start the server, navigate into Streamable HTTP, and here we just run Python and then server.py. This will spin up our MCP server on port 8000, and now we've got 2 shell scripts. The first one is script stateful.sh. Here you can see this is everything we have to do to talk to our MCP server. Let's create or open a new terminal, this time with a git bash. Go again to the Streamable HTTP folder, and now we're gonna run sh script stateful.sh. So what's happening here? First, for our stateful MCP server, we have to initialize our session with the server. So this time we use a long-living connection. So we make the request like this. So MCP uses JSON RPC. So we pass in as a payload JSON RPC 2.0, and the method is initialize. This will tell the MCP server that we want to initialize a new session, and the MCP server will return us a new session ID. So here we echo it, and we're gonna save it for follow-up requests. So we use the session ID that we got and pass it as request header here with this custom header MCP session ID, and we also use this following payload. Again, JSON RPC, and the method now is notifications/initialized. So we have to do this, otherwise the server doesn't know that the client has connected. And the third one is the actual tool call, where we pass the method tools call, and we pass in the name of the tool that we want to call with the argument. So we want to use the add function or add method, which is defined here, and we pass the params like this. So the arguments, and then we pass in this dictionary object. So that's all we have to do for a stateful connection. So let's now execute our script, and we can see that we don't get an error, and the result of our tool calling server is 5. Okay, great. So this worked, but of course there's a lot of overhead. So why do we need a client that has a long-living connection just to add 2 numbers? I don't think that makes a lot of sense. So we don't want to initialize a session, and we don't want to send the follow-up request with the notification to the server. This is not something that we need. We could make it much easier by using a stateless connection. So no connection at all. And with stateless HTTP, we can just make a single request where we actually use our tool and pass in the arguments. So we drop the first one and the second one to make that work. So if we have a look at that, if we execute script stateless, then the MCP server will complain. here we can see bad request missing session ID. So currently the server expects a session ID, but if we set this to true, then we can make it stateless. And this time we just have to restart the server and run it again. And now this works without any session. So this is much easier, and in my opinion the recommended way that you want to set up your MCP server if you only got function that don't need any kind of state. Okay, so that was the shell script part. Let's now move on to the Python part. And of course the MCP library also got a client that you can easily connect to your MCP server. And so the new way is to import from the MCP library in the client and then the Streamable HTTP module, the Streamable HTTP client function. And here you pass in the URL, which by default is not /SSE anymore, but it's /MCP. But you can also change that. And then you set up your client with this URL. The next class that we need is this client session. So even though we don't actually create a session if we are stateless, we still need that class to create our client. And then we can use just the call tool method of that client. And here we pass in the method that we want to call and the arguments that we want to use. So let's just run it, python client.py, and we can see it looks very much the same like before. Here we've got this class-based, and here is the result. 21 plus 21 is 42. So what's cool is about the client library is that even if you run initialize, and this normally sets up a session which returns the session ID, it will still work because it will just ignore it if our server has got the stateless attribute set to true. Okay, so far so good. That works if you want to develop a new MCP server, but what if you already developed an MCP server and it's already live and running, but you also want to change from SSE to Streamable HTTP? Then you can do the following without actually changing the already existing MCP server. So this is our backend server here in the Proxy Servers directory. And as you can see, that's our legacy server. So the transport here is SSE. So I would not recommend to develop a new server like this, but if it's already existing and running, then we can proxy that server, and we can do it like this. So in the proxy servers.py file, here you can see that we do the following. We import a client and we connect via SSE transport to our legacy backend server. So this is running on port 9001, and the standard slash here or standard route is SSE. The next step is that we set up a client, and here we use the SSE transport class to create a client that connects to our legacy server. And we can use the client, and we can use the from client class method from fastMCP, pass in our client, and now we use the stateless HTTP attribute and set this to true. So this way we use a client to create a proxy server. So now we only have to run our proxy server. So here is the run method of our proxy MCP instance, and this time we're gonna use Streamable HTTP as transport method. So this server will run on port 8000, and then we need just a client to connect to the new server. And our proxy server will route a request from a modern client, which makes use of Streamable HTTP, and proxy that to the legacy server, which has got the actual MCP logic. So let's run both servers. So first we have to run our legacy backend server. You can see that's running on port 9001 and makes use of SSE. Then we have to set up our proxy server. So this is running now on port 8000. Now we can use the client and actually use the proxy server to make requests to our old legacy system, and the client uses Streamable HTTP and the legacy server SSE. So that's how we make that compatible. Let's run it, Python and then client.py, and you can see all of the logs that we get, and here is the result. Okay, so that's it. In my opinion, this update makes the protocol much better, as I criticized the MCP protocol for forcing stateful connections quite a lot at the beginning. So now stateless is my default, and for more complex servers we can still add state to our MCP server later. So thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.